Over on the Y beach, the same strategy is setting in.
First day of Survivor, and I would say the person that I like the most is probably, right now, I would say either Jennifer. I don't know, I just really got really good vibes, like really positive vibes from her, or maybe Scott, because he reached out to me and just wanted to introduce himself to me, and he was the only person in my tribe who did that. I would say the person I trust least is probably Hunter. He didn't really do anything to set me off. It was just like, I don't know, I got kind of weird vibes. I also don't really trust Nikki or Jensen because they didn't come to the first Zoom meeting, which I felt was like kind of important. So, I don't know, that's all.
So we're only like 5 hours in as I'm recording this, but I feel like I already have a really good footing with Hunter as well as Aiden, and we have a pretty solid like group of 3 right there. I also feel pretty good with Frankie as well as Jennifer. Like Frankie could be the 4th, and I think we, like, the 3 of us, Hunter, Aiden and I have been talking, like, hey, Frankie could easily be our 4th, and then Jennifer feels like a good 5th person, which I'm really surprised about that I already have this good of a footing, because we're not very far into the game, but I already feel so confident with people and so trusting, which I'm so happy about, because it's so nice to feel that this early. Unfortunately, I think the bottom of our tribe is Jensen. Even though I haven't been talking to that many people, I feel like that may be the consensus because he had his job today. I don't know if it's just today, but I mean, if he's got his job a lot, then that could ruin us for challenges and be bad.
Scott, Hunter, and Aiden find defined trust in each other and make the Big 3 alliance, hoping to pull in one more guy for a 4 and maybe one more guy for a 5th.
Get into our tribes and like we get a picture sent with everyone who's on the tribe, and like I look at everyone, I'm like, these people look so nice. They seem so nice. And then we all get into the tribe and we're all chatting and stuff, and then I start getting private messages from other people, and it's like, oh my god, like, because I've only played one other face game and it really wasn't that well, and like I didn't make like big alliances, but now I have a really good like strong alliance with a couple of people, and I'm just so excited to actually play the game with them, and I hope I do really good and I make it really far.
Rounding out half of the Y tribe, Hunter, Aiden, and Scott convince Frankie to form the Fantastic Four Alliance, where they are deciding between Jennifer, AB, Nikki, and Jensen as the first boot.
So day 1 is done in the books. It's gone pretty well. We've already started talking about who our first boot is potentially if we end up at the first tribal. I've had really good talks with Hunter and Scott. The 3 of us seem to be in a pretty good type 3. And then we also have a group of the 3 of us with Frankie, and the 4 of us kind of decided it's probably the best thing to vote off Jensen, because Jensen didn't show up to our first Zoom meeting. Jensen seems really nice. We talked for a little bit. He wants to get out Nikki, because she also didn't show up for the meeting. But we, as the boys, decided Jensen seems like a bigger threat. So we wanted to get him out now. So I have that group chat of 3 and a group chat of 4, and then we also have a group chat of 5 with Jensen. It's all the boys in Y. And we're telling him we're targeting Nikki, but we're really targeting him. And then Nikki, AB, and Jennifer have all been informed on this plan that we're going for Jensen, but we're telling him it's Nikki. And they all seem down. I haven't talked to AB or Nikki myself, but that's just what I'm told from the other guys. I've had a good talk with Jennifer. I really like Jennifer. I want to keep her on my side because she and I are both older than most of the other tribe mates, and I'd like to be able to have someone to watch my back who's a little bit more similar to me. I'm afraid that like the 15 and 16-year-olds are going to gang up on the older people, and that could be really bad for my game. So my fingers are crossed that Jennifer and I can stay tight. But other than that, me, Scott, and Hunter really seem like we're a good, tight group of 3. So overall, day 1 went really, really well. I hope we don't have to go to tribal first, because I don't want to risk being the first boot. But we'll see what happens.
So this is my first confessional for Virtual Survivor. And after the first day, I got to meet everybody in my tribe. And, get to see who else is playing in the game on the other tribe too. And who I like the most, honestly, I really don't have like a favorite or anything like that, but most of them seem pretty chill in the tribe, so that's good. I feel like we're all gonna work together pretty well. And same with like who like I don't trust at all. Like I don't really pose anyone as a threat right now, but it's just it'll be a good game, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah.
Jensen decides to create Five Guys Burger and Fries with Hunter, Frankie, Aiden, and Scott. All 5 guys decide that AB could go first, or Jennifer, or Nikki, as long as it isn't them. Jensen does his best to convince these men, and they are all in. Welcome Ahi and Y to your first immunity challenge. I hope tribe life so far hasn't been too crazy, but that's the game that we play. For this first challenge, you will be participating in a full tribe relay, 6-part relay that everybody will participate in. Let's take our places and talk about the rules. The first member of the relay will need to take a picture with live fire. This can be a flame of any kind as long as it's real. The second person in the relay will need to list everybody on their tribe by last name in alphabetical order. The next 2 people in the relay will have to get 8 playing cards and take a selfie with it, numbering 1 through 8. Moving on to the next person, they will need to take a selfie with rice. You can be creative if you don't have real rice in your house. The next person must take a picture with a fort that is man-sized. You have to be in the fort. This can also have creative liberties. And lastly, the final 2 people in the relay will have to complete a puzzle representing the Virtual Survivor logo. Any questions? Let's take our spots. Jenna will not be participating for Ahi because she has work, and the same goes for Jennifer for Y. This challenge will start with Wyatt and Aiden, who will need to take a photo with live fire. If you guys have any questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace. This is a Survivor relay. This is the first challenge of the season, and this challenge is on. Wyatt and Aiden quickly go to work attempting to find fire to take a picture with. Quickly, Wyatt finds fire and sends it in, sending Micah to the next part of the relay. Aiden finishes his first part but will be competing later since Jennifer cannot. He got fire in. We are now neck and neck, but Micah has had a leg up on the last names. He is working hard, and he is finished, which means Hunter needs to get last names for his tribe. Xander and Cameron are now onto the cards where they need to send pictures 1 through 8 with the cards, and they both finish on the same time. Xander and Cameron are leading Ahi right now, which then sends Macy into the next part of the relay for Rice. Hunter is still working on the names. Macy needs to send a picture of Rice, and she just did a selfie. Ahi is running away with this. Madeline and Sammy just need to finish the puzzle. That is not true. Cameron still has to do the shelter. Cameron is working on that while Hunter is working on the names. And Hunter just finished the names. He was slowing his tribe down. Frankie and Aiden now need to send cards. Cameron is working on the shelter, man-sized shelter. Aiden finishes his side of the cards. Frankie is frantically searching. Cameron finishes a Seltzer. Madeline and Sammy can now move on to the final leg of this challenge. They are so far ahead. Y is stuck in the dirt behind. Frankie is working on cards, and it seems that he does not have any, but he finishes by finding a set of virtual cards online and sending in the pictures. Next up, we have Scott attempting to... There he goes. He just sent in a picture with rice. AB needs to build a shelter. Madeline and Sammy are having some technical issues with the puzzle, and they are panicking. They are going to sub out and have Micah work. AB just finished the shelter, and now that they are tied, Jensen and Nikki are working on the puzzle after Ahi had some technical issues. They are struggling right now. What is this? There are technical issues on both sides? All right. We're going to make an announcement. The first tribe to have one person send in a finished puzzle will win this challenge. Everybody's participating. The stakes are high. It is neck and neck. Macy and Micah are very close to finishing. Aiden is sneaking up behind with the puzzle. Macy's getting closer. Micah's filling in some for Ahi. We have 2 on that side. Jensen's getting some groundwork going. Aiden is getting closer. Aiden is the furthest with the puzzle. And here we have it. Macy wins the challenge for Ahi. Ahi will not have to go to Tribal Council, but Y will. I'll see you guys tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night. Over on the Ahi beach, the winners talk strategy
So about
still.
4 hours into this game, I'm feeling pretty well as I can be. I had, right off the gate, I had Wyatt and Micah message me saying that they trust me and that they want to move forward with me. And I was like, great, people are coming to me. And it's something that I was really nervous about walking in, if people would approach me. And from there, we formed a 5-person alliance with Sammy, Xander, and the other 2. And right now, we are working on getting Maddie in so that we can potentially split votes if there's an idol. And if in case there is a tribe swap, she won't fail on the outs and try to go to the other side. With Macy and Jenna, they don't seem to be playing the game much. Macy hasn't talked to me like at all. I've reached out. She's just leaving me unread, which is fun. And Jenna's been off and on, but I'm not seeing much play out of her. Out of the 5, I trust Micah and Sammy the most. Micah and I are probably going to be the closest alliance in this tribe. Just a 2 out of a 2-person alliance. Me and him connect on just more than a game level. We have the same interests in everything, and I wouldn't be surprised that after this is all over, we actually meet up sometime. I like Sammy. She seems to be playing very hard, and that's something I want around because that protects me. Because eventually I know I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to be playing super hard. So if she's playing even harder, then it's a shield for me, which is great. Out of the other 2, I don't trust them 100%, but I do trust them for the time being. They seem to be relatively trustworthy, and they seem to trust me, which is something that I love. I like Maddie, but I don't want 100% trust her. I feel like she's going to be very sneaky further on in the game. With Jenna, we believe that she knows somebody on the other tribe, and that's always a dangerous thing to have, knowing that somebody could potentially know somebody outside this game that's already a duo that they can't separate, which could be a shield if I can get them on my side, but I'm not sure if I can. Not yet, at least. And then with Macy, she's not even like playing at this point. I don't know what she's thinking or what she's planning. But if we were to lose the first tribal council, I wouldn't mind seeing Macy or Jenna go. They haven't given me a reason to trust them, and that's what the 5's thinking. So yeah.
The Ahi 5 meet after they win and decide that Macy is an asset because of her ability to do challenges. they now might have to go against the Ahi 6 and vote out Madeline.
So like every survivor, we've been divided into two tribes. There's the water tribe and the fire tribe. And we're in the fire tribe. And my tribe's pretty cool. I've connected with most everybody. There's two people that really haven't reached out to me or even responded when I tried to connect with them. But there's 6 of us that have talked. There's 6 of us that have connected. And within that, there's 5. And within that, there's 3. And within that, there's 2. And I feel like I'm in a really good position right now. But I can't be too confident. I can't settle. I have to trust the people that I'm in. But I also have to watch my back. I've connected with Cameron. He's a pretty cool dude. He looks just like Tyson, which I love. He loves Liberty University, which is the shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is pretty cool. He likes cross country, and we connected over that. We've connected over our religion. So he's a pretty cool dude. I trust him. And I'm hoping that me and him can go to the final 2 or final 3 together. And I'd be honestly happy if he won, if it wasn't me. I've also connected with Sammy. Sammy's pretty cool. She's a cool girl. I'm excited to get to know her more. I've connected with Xander. He's from Hawaii, and that's awesome. I love Hawaii. I want to visit one day, and we've talked about that, and it's a pretty cool connection that we have there. And then there's Wyatt within our 5 as well, and I haven't really connected with him. He seems a little sketchy, and some of the other people in our tribe are also picking up on that as well. So we're interested to see where Wyatt stands at the end of the day, but we're excited. I think this tribe has some awesome chemistry, and honestly, I don't think we're going to lose. I think we're going to win every challenge until the merge, and then hopefully dominate from there. So I'm excited to see what happens.
On the Y Beach, things are not as celebratory. Somebody has to go home tonight.
So we got the first tribal in about an hour. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I'm confident that I'm not going home tonight. I'm confident it's going to be Jensen. And I think me and the 4 boys are pretty even right now. We're all in agreement that after Jensen should be AB. But after that is where it gets a little tricky. I think it should be Nikki. They all think it should be Jenny. I don't want it to be Jenny, because I have a little bit of a bond with her, I think. And I'd rather keep Jenny around than Nikki. We also haven't seen what Jenny can do during challenges. But I don't want to sabotage my game by getting Jenny out. I don't want to sabotage my game by keeping Jenny in and going away from the 3 boys. That could be really dangerous for me. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that for a while. I mean, we lost today's challenge. Hopefully we don't lose all of them. Hopefully we can win at least one tomorrow. That's all I got to say.
So I'm pretty tight with Scott already, and he told me that Jensen has started a group chat with the boys, with the 5 boys, and he told me that Jensen is going to vote me out, and we all plan to vote Jensen out. At least that's what I think. So hopefully I'm not getting blindsided in this, and I'm just hoping that everyone is telling the truth when they say they're voting Jensen, but nobody's really talking to me besides Scott, so I'm just going with my gut.
Tonight's tribals really is going to make a big impact on my game. It's going to help me move on so much faster.
5 guys, burger and fries, meet together on the beach right before Tribal Council and talk about staying strong. None of them want to go, and of the 3 girls on their tribe, they decide that Nikki needs to go. All right, everybody, welcome to Tribal Council. The challenge today was a little rough because there was a lot of technical issues. Unfortunately, both tribes had the technical issues, so there was nothing deemed unfair. It was just whoever's worked and whoever could get it done first. Aiden actually finished the puzzle only about 20 to 40 seconds after Macy won it for Ahi. And so if anyone is questioning the validity of the challenge, it was still possible for either tribe to win. In fact, you guys were closer because of the malfunctions. Ahi was ahead before the puzzle for quite some time. So it's a sad loss, but like I said, there has to be losers. Both tribes couldn't have won the challenge. Well, kicking it off, I'm going to throw a question at Jennifer. You had work, and unfortunately, we weren't able to work around your schedule today. We have a calendar now, and hopefully that will work some stuff out. How do you feel coming into Tribal Council? Not a lot of time for socialization because you were at work all day.
Right. I think yesterday with the Zoom, it went pretty good. Everyone seems nice. And then I talked to a few people today, like just now, a few minutes ago about it. I'm feeling good. Everyone seems nice. I feel confident right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, confidence is a pretty huge thing to have in this game. Sometimes it can be what wins you the crown of Soul Survivor, and sometimes it can be what gets you blindsided. Confidence is huge. Scott, is there a balance with confidence in a game like Survivor?
As opposed to something like what?
Well, is having full confidence better or worse, or is there a balance? Is there a middle ground where you need to be?
I feel like you need to force yourself to have some balance, because if you're too confident, then all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, I don't need to like talk to anybody anymore. Then all of a sudden it's flipped on you. So you need to have some confidence, because otherwise you'll go crazy and like drive everyone mad. And even if you weren't the plan, like now you are, but you don't want to be too confident, because then you're too laid back. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, well, he's, for whatever reason, like he could go home. So.
Yeah, the idea of being laid back as an opposite of being confident is huge. Aiden, if you had to pick one of those aspects, confidence or laid backedness, which one do you think, if you had to go all in on one of those, would be more beneficial for overall gameplay?
I feel like it's better to be more confident than laid back. I mean, like, I know they kind of go hand in hand, but just I feel like the term laid back has the negative connotation of that you're not trying, you don't really care. You're carefree, and you can't be like that in this game.
Yeah, sometimes being too stressed out is a good thing because you're aware. There's a lot of balances that this game has, whether it's real life on the show, which I'm sure is way more stressful, but even something like this, there's definitely stress involved. Frankie, how would you say your stress level has been so far with a game like this that's all virtual? The challenge was fun, maybe it wasn't fun, but is there stress on your end?
Well, for right now, like in the beginning, it's not, because like you're just getting to know everybody. But like when we got into the challenge, it was like a little stressful because I like didn't have like the cards and everything, and it was just like I didn't know what to do. But then I found out what to do, so I'm not stressed at all right now.
You made a way, which was impressive. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if you shared, he didn't have a deck of cards, and so he looked up images of cards, playing cards, and submitted those. And I accepted it because creativity being implemented was something that Bethany and I both said was fair. Switching gears now, yesterday we had a Zoom. I'm going to talk to Jensen and Nikki. Do you feel like not being on the Zoom when I was there to give just brief information? And I know that, Jensen, you had work, and Nikki, there might have been a mix-up. So there's nothing to be blamed. There was no big twist given out. It was mostly just for socialization, for people to get faces and names together. I'll start with you, Jensen. How do you feel like, you had work, so you have a reason, but how do you feel like that affects you this early in the game?
I feel like it's just, that first impression that you make on other people is really important. That's important in everything. And especially with kind of just like my first text with everybody is like, hey, I'm Jensen, I missed the meeting, what's going on, and I, Hunter really kind of filled me in on what the meeting was, so thanks for that. But it was just really, I feel like it would have definitely benefited me, but at the same time, I still was able to, talk to a lot of people and, just kind of get to know everybody, which, is something that I probably would have done if I was on the Zoom call.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikki, you weren't there. Do you think that being on the Zoom and getting to meet people while I was there, curating it, do you think that being there would be better because you get to meet people, or do you think having less of a face and less of a name this early on might be okay because people don't know if they should target you or not?
I mean, I don't want to fly that far under the radar where people don't really like know who I am. They just like think I'm a nobody, but it was my fault for not going on the Zoom. I didn't have a reason. I was just at the beach and I forgot about it. But, you know, I came on at the very end and said hi to some people, and I don't know. It went from there.
Well, we all have lives. It's
Yeah.
it's one thing to just choose to not want to do it and be super available. If you forgot, accidents happen. We'll see how it shakes out with the game. Now, lastly, I don't think I've asked you a question, Hunter. If you went home tonight, how would you feel like you put in your strategy, your socialization, the friendships, challenges? How would you feel like your game was so far? Only being a little over 24 hours in, how would you feel if you went home tonight and your torch was snuffed?
Well, of course I want to be happy because I'm out of the game, but like I got to meet all these wonderful people, and I think friendship is better than winning. So, you know, it's bittersweet.
And that's something that's true on most aspects of life. You meet friends in school, you meet friends at work, and sometimes that's better than the actual thing you're doing. If anyone has any comments before we start voting, I would love to have stuff to discuss about. It's our first tribal, and so there isn't a lot of meat that the game has given yet, but I would love anyone to get to express anything that they have yet to say before we go and start voting. If we're all good, I can start moving the voting on. I do want to say the votes aren't in. I have no clue who's going home, but for whoever it is, thank you so much for playing, and I hope that you leave with your head held high. There's 15 losers, and so let's all have fun and let's all respect each other, okay? So now, I am going to, let me know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah.
It'll cut out when people start talking, just so when it's recorded, people's voices come over. But at this moment, you guys are allowed to go and cast your votes. All right. I have the votes. If everybody would like to, you don't have to have your cameras on, you don't have to have your mics on, but I have the votes right here in the urn. And as I said, there are no hidden immunity idols out yet. And so I will begin reading the votes. Bethany will be updating them live as I read them. So there will be slight pauses in between each vote read. Here we go. I'm actually going to set this right here. First vote goes to Jensen. Second vote goes to Nikki. The third vote goes to Jensen. The fourth vote goes to Jensen. We have 3 votes Jensen, 1 vote Nikki. 4 votes left. Our next vote goes to Jensen. That's 4 votes Jensen, 1 vote Nikki, 3 votes left. Our next vote, the first member eliminated from Survivor Season 1, Virtual Survivor, Jensen. That's enough. You can bring me your torch, Jensen. Anything you would like to say? I've really appreciated you playing. I don't know if this is cheesy or not, but I have a torch that can be snuffed, and I thought that this was going to go out, and it did. I appreciate you playing tremendously. You brought me your torch. The tribe has spoken, and so you'll be contacted by me after you leave all of the groups, and I will be thanking you and giving you some information about when the season airs.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Y'all can't trust Hunter. Y'all can't trust Hunter.
Oh.
Thank
I'm
you so much,
sorry.
Jensen.
I love you, dude.
I'm
I'll
going
stay
to
up there.
end the
Well,
Zoom
I
right
was the
now.
first one voted off, which really sucked. Like, I didn't, plan on leaving so early, so kind of upset about that. But, I think I missed the first Zoom call, and I think that really set me back. Personally, I felt like if I was there, I could have maybe made connections with people, and they wouldn't have thought, oh, he doesn't care, he's not committed, we're just gonna kick him out. So I feel like that was like fault on me, and I just, I was really hoping that I could have got to play longer. So a little upset about that, but you know what? It was so cool for the time that I was there. So I just want to thank all the cast. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see who wins.